Hey everybody, this is the new GoPro Hero 9. Well, it's not brand new. It's been out for quite a few months, and I've owned it since it's come out. And I'm going to tell you why, if I were to do it again, I would not buy this Hero 9. Right after this. Now, the reasons why I don't like the Hero 9 might not apply to you, so make sure you watch the whole video. Or if you do similar activities and videos like I do, which mainly involves mounting the cameras, then you really might have the same problems with this camera than I do. So why did I want to go to the Hero 9? Well, there's a few reasons. Here is my old Hero 5, which I still use. The difference between this and the Hero 5 and the 9, one big difference, this has a front screen. And that's one thing I really wanted in a GoPro, is to be able to frame up the shot a little bit easier. It's small, but it does work for framing up. Not so good for exposure, but yeah, it's better than nothing. With the Hero 5, I was still able to do that using the phone app. Also, this has a new feature called horizon leveling. And that's what I really wanted it for, because a lot of times I'm actually setting this camera up, getting different angles, and what happens is it could be a little bit tilted when I look at it in post. And so I have to actually just kind of straighten it out. I have to zoom in a little bit. And this is supposed to have auto leveling or horizon leveling. It does work, but it just doesn't work for what I'm using it for. So you're going to see an example right here. Now, the first negative of the Hero 9 was the buying experience. I've owned a lot of GoPro Hero generations, and this is the first time I've actually bought directly from GoPro themselves. They kind of had a little promotion where you could, they were giving you a free SD card, and also you got a free subscription to their downloading system. I do recommend that. I use it just because I want to have a backup with everything that I film. Sometimes I film things that I don't get to edit for a long time, and you know, it's like just that one time that you hit delete and you know, I didn't actually download that footage. So I ordered it from the website and it shipped out basically 2 days later, but I waited, and I looked at the tracking, and 10 days later, it still says it was shipped, but it's still at their actual GoPro headquarters, or their warehouse. So I thought that was kind of a little bit ridiculous. I phoned and I was passed through to many people. I asked for a supervisor, and I just said, you know, just cancel the order. You know, you can see it right there. The actual unit is still in your possession. And I could have just went down the street 4 blocks to the Best Buy the day that I ordered the GoPro, and I just ordered it from there. And if I would have known it was going to take that long, I would have just done that. And they weren't able to actually cancel the order, so they couldn't refund me, yet this GoPro was in limbo. Well, guess what? After that phone call, it showed up 2 days later. Imagine that, right? So it showed up. There was no SD card included that it was supposed to include. I have a billion SD cards, but hey, if you're going to throw something in for free, I'm going to take it. So I had to make a claim on that, and they wanted all this other proof, and it basically took, the whole process of getting that SD card was probably close to 3 weeks before I received a new SD card. So that was the experience in a nutshell. Not a good experience for buying from GoPro themselves. While I was ordering the Hero 9, I also ordered this media mod. So this little frame, which is not compatible with any other models of the Hero system, you take off the door of your Hero 9, and you see this frame here, and it actually has some cold shoe mounts, and you slide your Hero 9 in, and it connects up, and you can clip that there. And the nice thing, it has an external microphone. It also has, I mentioned those cold shoe mounts, and you access your mount from the built-in GoPro mount on there. Now, why I wanted this, and this is handy though, is so I could attach my wireless microphone directly to the GoPro, because in behind there are, you have a microphone jack in, and you also have a USB-C for doing your backups or charging, and you have an HDMI hookup. So that's all in this media mod. Now, the one thing that I don't like about this media mod, or there's a couple things, is that it makes it quite big and actually quite heavy. So if you have a real lightweight suction mount, let's say you're mounting this, or if you're mounting this on a helmet, let's say it's quite a bit heavier than just a plain Hero 5, a lot heavier. And because of its weight, you might get some movement if you don't have it really cranked really tight. So that is one negative. The other thing is because the arms are integrated into the GoPro, those GoPro arms, in order for me to change a battery, let's say if this is on a mount, I have to unscrew the mount. By the way, also, it comes with a regular length screw. It should come with a longer length because once you get your screw in, I don't know if you can see this here, okay, you can't screw it. There's not enough room. So you should have a nice extended piece out there. That would be really good. But you have to actually take that out first. Then you have to open this up, pull it out, just to change your battery or change your SD card. And then once again, you're gonna have to do the opposite. Close it, pull your arms out, and remount. So if you're using these in a remote setting, let's say you have a multi-camera shoot in an in-car and you have your position set already, that is a very inconvenient thing to have to do, to have to pull this down. The old one here, I could have this mounted on the mount already, and I can just remove it out of the shell like this. So this shell can remain on the mount in its exact position. I can do what I need to do with the GoPro, and I can just insert it back, and my position is still held, and you can't do that with this media mod. So that is a kind of a big downfall depending on if you're doing a lot of mounting of your cameras. So anyways, let's get this set up on the mount and see some footage from this Hero 9. So to test out and share some footage with you, I'm going to use it how I normally use it, and that is to mount it on or in the car for car reviews. So I have the Hero 9 mounted beside my Hero 5 right now, and they are set to the exact same settings. So the same sharpness, which is in medium. They are in 4K in wide mode, and auto white balance. I have one light right now on just because it is getting a little bit dark here. It's a kind of a gloomy, dark day right now. So yeah, anyways, so here's an example. What do you think of the difference of footage? I do think the Hero 9 footage is a little bit better than the Hero 5, that's for sure. But the Hero 5, get this, you could pick up one of these Hero 5s for about $100. So it's a lot less money than this Hero 9. And so is it that much bigger of a difference in quality? I don't think so. So I'm still good with the Hero 5 footage, other than if you do want 60 frames per second in 4K, the Hero 5 does not do that. You do have to go into the Hero 9, which does do 4K 60. And if you're using this for a lot of action sports, so if you want to slow motion it down later on in 4K, you can do that with the Hero 9. So I shoot all my 60 frame stuff with my regular Sony anyways, so I never use a 60 frame on the Hero 9 anyways, so that part really doesn't matter to me. One convenient thing though is that I am able to hook that microphone directly into that media mod, which is a big plus because it saves me time in editing. With the Hero 5, I would actually record on the GoPro and then record audio separately and put it together in post. It's not a big deal. It's just nicer when it's all together, and the audio does work okay. The only thing that I found with this system though on the Hero 9 is when you do clips of over 8 minutes long, it starts another clip. And when it starts another clip, there's a clip in the audio. So the audio is not seamless when you go to a new clip, which is unfortunate. On the Hero 5, if I wanted to hook a microphone to it, I could buy a microphone adapter though. Now comes to one of the features I was really looking forward to on the Hero 9, and that is the horizon leveling. So when you have that activated, what happens is you can even have the camera tilted a little bit and it actually levels it out. So let's turn that on right now. Okay, the Hero 5 is still in its same mode. Now on the Hero 9, I have switched it to, it's still 4K 30, but it's in linear plus with horizon leveling. So, let's see if you notice anything with this. Now, it's more noticeable if you are turning corners. So let's turn a corner here. So the issue with this horizon leveling though is when you're holding it and doing vlogging, it works great for that. It's like having a gimbal, and so there is no fault with how it works. But when you're mounted, like what we do here with the cameras, it basically forces movement into your shot when it's unnecessary. So it just feels like your camera's kind of like moving and kind of floating, and it's not a very, very good look at all. And that's not what I wanted the horizon leveling for. I wanted to, hey, throw it up on the sunroof, point it forward, and guess what? That dash is gonna be nice and level, and it is until you move. As soon as you start moving, then you're gonna get that washy type of look. So that is one big disappointment for me for this Hero 9. Let's pull over and I'm gonna show you another huge disappointment that I have with this camera. So let's take off the Hero 9. Let's just say we're going to mount it on the side window here for a steering wheel shot, or this could be mounted outside by the tire or by the shocks, any of those type of things. And just like the Hero 5, oh, I said something, voice activation's on the Hero 5. You can use the GoPro app and you can enable preview. So by hitting that, sometimes it has an issue if you're using different cameras around or the cars. Okay, there we go. So it is working right there. This is good. So once again, we might have this under the car or in the engine bay, or you might be using GoPros in live events and in remote areas. Now this was pretty well the biggest disappointment to me for the Hero 9. I just couldn't believe that this camera is not able to preview while recording. That's right. So we can see the preview here. It's on. Hello right there. Okay. Now, as soon as we hit record though, I lose the preview. Like, that's nuts. So let's try that out right now. There's just someone backing up here. Okay, so let's hit record. We get a black screen. That's what we have, a total black screen. And now the downfall of this is if we are driving and this is mounted somewhere on the car. I've mounted these on when we're on racetracks even, and yeah, you could actually at least glance down and you can see what your GoPro is recording. With this black screen, it could literally have fallen off and I wouldn't even know, or it could have had a big huge bug splatter on it or a piece of mud flung up on the lens, and you have no idea because you have the black screen of almost death. And so as soon as, if I just manually stop it right now, we get the live preview back. So I've read online that it's because it takes too much power to do it, to get that live preview. But you know what, even if they could just do a real a real proxy quality preview, that would be amazing. But not having it work at all is just, that's a big thumbs down, not just for me, but for a lot of people. So it wouldn't be fair just to say all the bad things about the GoPro. Once again, I have to reiterate, these are all items that just don't work for me, but I know a lot of you do use the GoPro for things like I do. But if you are using it for vlogging or for action sports or activities, the new Hero 9 stabilization is excellent. Like, it's super solid, almost gimbal-like. So that is a huge plus for people that want to do those things. Also, the time lapse, especially the night lapse, is wild. Lots of controls in it, but you know, you can get some real creative shots with the Hero 9. And so yeah, it's not all that bad. But hey, when I bought this, after all said and done, when you include a media mod and you have extra batteries, you put it all together, this GoPro Hero 9 was over $600. So yeah, it should do all those things. And I mentioned again, that Hero 5 you can pick up for about $100, or you can go and get a Hero 8 package. A lot of places have them packaged. Costco had them for like in the $300 range, $300 something. Now, if you don't need some of the features that come on the Hero 9, like that horizon leveling, or also the Hero 9 does do 5K 30 frames per second, so that does give you a little bit more real estate to zoom in. Let's say if you want to actually change up your framing in post, you can do that, so you get a little bit more resolution. But if you don't need that, or like that horizon leveling, I would really say go for that Hero 8 even, because you're going to save a lot of money and you're pretty well getting something that's very similar. Well, I hope you got something out of this video. If you're in the market for a Hero 9, consider some of those things that I mentioned, especially if you are mounting the cameras like I do. And if you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. We'll see you on the next Everyday Reviews.